for people listening in, then they're probably still going to us. What the fuck is it? What is magic? Give us an example of one small thing,
like a chip on a bat, for example. A new house being built, the bathroom's just starting to fit it out. He drops a drill or something into or a hammer into the bat, chips the bat.
Yeah.
Rather than rip out the whole bat, we can go in and repair it in situ, like.
Yeah.
Leave it brand new, like.
This is what we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
I have a property that's just finished, and a lad dropped a hammer on the back when it was dropped in his side. So and it's all completely finished.
Yeah.
So last thing
for you to rip that bat out, like, it'll cost you whatever, like
thousands.
Yeah. So we can go in and repair it there in 2 or 3 hours in situ, like.
You just go in, fix it up.
Different fillers, different resins, different paints, whatever else, like.
Welcome back to Platinum Properties Podcast. Today we are joined by Mark Ryan, the owner and founder of Surface Magic. Surface Magic is Ireland's #1 surface repair company. Their specialist technicians have the ability to repair many types of surfaces, carefully recreating pattern, colour, shape and finish, helping clients save on time, cost of replacements and stops waste that will end up in the landfill. Surface Magic services all industries. So in this podcast, Mark talks about how he got started with Surface Magic, how he built his team and the day-to-day running of the company. He talks about his business plans, marketing plans, scaling and exits. And we also take a look at some of the work completed by Surface Magic. So we hope you enjoy this podcast.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you're having a great week so far. Tonight, he's asked me to bring the big dogs in. That's what I've done. So tonight, we're going to run through a great little episode, and we're bringing it back to maintenance, and we're bringing it back to a fantastic little business. We're going to dig deep into the business. We're going to go through what Mark does on a daily basis and how he operates his teams, and how he gets through a good bit of work each week. And maybe a couple of different parts of how he's going to scale the business up and move it into different counties. And then we might even talk about how an entrepreneur sees an exit towards the end of it. So sit back, relax, take as many notes as you can. And I can guarantee you after this episode, you'll be walking around the house going, I need to get that repaired, this repaired, and that repaired. Or maybe if you're a big time builder, which watches in here, and you're snagging out properties, this episode is going to be really, really interesting for you. If you're watching us in on YouTube, if you're watching us in on Spotify, don't forget to jump over to YouTube and give us a like, a share, and a follow as well. Okay, Mark from Surface Magic, you're very welcome into the Platinum Studios.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Good stuff. You're a bomb already. All right, take us back a little bit. So people that are watching in are probably going, "What the hell is Surface Magic as a business?"
Yeah.
Now, I know you from the training business. You came through our doors here many years ago. And you've built up a small little property portfolio that's probably backed off this business, which is a great model, I think. But tonight is all about Surface Magic and how you built it up to where it is today, and where you're planning on taking it, where you're planning on running with it, and then how you started the real business.
Yeah. Well, I've done a bit of work in England, and I came across Magic Man. I was on site one day. And this guy came on site to repair a windowsill.
Yeah.
It's chunking out of a stone windowsill. So this fella come up and he repaired it, like brand new, like I couldn't believe it, like what the fuck is this like? So I done my research into it anyway, and actually the company was called Magic Man.
Magic Man to disappear the
Magic
problem.
Man, yeah, that's for Surface Magic, yeah. But I was home again anyway, and it was just always on my mind. So I contacted a few companies, Magic Man, a few different companies in the UK, about giving me a bit of work or learn how to do it. Like, so one particular company came back to me and said that they would sell me a franchise. So done my research with them anyway and signed up with them, bought into the franchise.
Was it a hefty number in?
Yeah, it was £25,000 at the time.
Right.
This is going back 7.5 years ago.
Big enough.
Yeah, about 30 grand or whatever it was. Like, yeah. And then, I had to get a van and everything else on top of it. Like, yeah. So it was a good
coming
chunk
back
to
from
put in,
the UK, as most of us do, we always head over. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, which is horrendously bad in Ireland, have to head to the UK because the UK are streets ahead of us. I done up my own property education as well. I went over and spent many times coming back and forward. And most business owners or most young entrepreneurs we see do head over to the UK and come back. When you came back with the idea and you came back with a bit of a thing, you obviously seen a gap in the market.
Yeah, actually, I was trying to find it. Companies in Ireland doing a similar thing. I couldn't find them. So it took the risk. Done it, brought it back. Was going around knocking on doors trying to get work. People are telling you to if you can't repair a bat, or you can't repair a windowsill, or you can't repair this. So you do a lot of samples, a lot of freebies. After a while they just bring you back you're being.
So that was you driving at the very, very start. You were out on your own then, obviously. So you bought a van. Yeah,
I bought a van, I would have done a lot of posts and stuff on LinkedIn. Yeah. If that's where I would have got a lot of my work, it'd be business to business. So people would be a comment or whatever, you'd set up a meeting and you go to a site or a hotel or wherever it may be, and you might do a sample repair.
Yeah.
And it might lead on then to a bit of work over.
Okay. Yeah. So for people listening in then, they're probably still going to us, what the fuck is it? What is magic? Give us an example of one small thing. I know you don't really do too much for the public. You do a lot for building contractors and hotels.
There's a lot of, it's basically panel beating for property. Like a chip on a bat, for example. So there's a new house being built. The bathroom's just starting to fit it out. He drops a drill or something into or a hammer into the bat, chips the bat. Yeah. Rather than rip out the whole bat, we can go in and repair it in situ, leave it brand new,
This is what we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
I have one property that's just finished, and a lad dropped a hammer on the bat when it was dropped in his side. So and it's all completely finished.
Yeah.
So last thing
for you to rip that bat out, it cost you whatever,
thousands.
Yeah. So we can go in and repair it there in 2 or 3 hours in situ.
You just go in.
Fix it up. Different fillers, different resins, different paints, whatever else.
Right. So then again, that's a bat. What else is on a daily basis? You just get calls in for loads of different.
Yeah, for example, there could be a new apartment or a block of apartments that could be being handed over on Friday.
Yeah.
We get a snag list. There could be a chip on a worktop, scratch on the floor. There could be somebody after drilling a hole in a tile in the wrong place. Things like that. We can just.
So you can repair anything.
Pretty much any hard surface within a house. Yeah.
Right.
Or any property. Yeah.
And what's the most trickiest one you may have done in the house, or
tricky ones? They're all challenging enough. Once you have patience. But pretty much everything is repairable. Yeah.
So if you just go in, if there's a handover week and there's 100 apartments going out the door, you'll obviously start at the bottom.
Yeah.
So how many men would you, let's say a typical 100 apartments that you use, I know we were talking before about this as well, but let's say you're doing it for one of the big builders in the country.
Yeah.
John Paul or Sisk or whoever they are. I'm not too sure. And you probably work for all these people.
We do a bit of work for people. Yeah.
So they obviously have gone through the apartments get cleaned out, and then next thing they're mopping the floors, and it's brought to the attention there's a chip there, there's a lump over there, there's something else from a ladder over here.
We'd be in with the cleaners or even after the cleaners. We'd be nearly the last men on site,
Right.
But if they were going through to do a list of scratching the floor, chipping the worktop or whatever, our lads go in and they'll just take it apartment by apartment, go down through the floors and for handover.
Just nail off each apartment each time.
Yeah.
Right. And then it gets handed back over to the builder. Builder goes, they're happy with it, with everything. How do you just get a dint or a chip to disappear?
It's, as I say, it's different fillers and waxes and resins. It's patience is the key. It's not like rocket science or anything, but you need a good eye for detail, yeah.
And is most of the repairs so when you again if you're going to take in, because I've never seen, I'm a tradesman, I was a tradesman myself, but I've never seen, and I've fucking made a shit of loads of things.
Yeah.
And we'd be trying to put bits of silicone on it and cover it up. But there's always damage. Once there's trades in a property, there's always damage at start. But just take me back a little bit. If you're scaling this thing to maybe you're heading for 20 staff anyway.
Yeah, we have a lot. well, we've 15 and a half, 15 full-time, one part-time. We have 13 lads on the tools full-time. Like, yeah,
so let's say
easy enough.
I'm coming in for a job interview tomorrow and I want to start in the business.
Actually, we have job interviews.
Well, if anyone's listening into this as well, you're interested in it, Mark is scaling up.
Yeah.
So how do you train me to do that? If I'm I have a good pair of hands. But.
Yeah, we've a unit down in Naas. That's where we train lads down there. Usually we do a week down there with new lads. It's just matching colours, like, you know, you have your primary colours like yellow, red and blue.
Yeah.
And you can make any colour out of that. So you just mess around with colour matching, get dry in for detail. Like maybe do a bit of filling and sanding and whatever.
So they're in the workshop for 8 hours for the day.
Yeah. Well, usually we get them in the morning for a couple of hours. You go through a few things, damage a bit of flooring or a few worktops or whatever, show them how to do it, and then just let them loose.
Let them try it.
Yeah, and just keep doing it until they get the right in. Like.
And how long does it normally take a lad to get up to it, like a decent level?
It could be, we wouldn't charge. It could be do a week or maybe 10 days down in the unit. Then they'd buddy up with somebody and one of the more experienced lads on site. And we wouldn't charge for probably the first month or so until they're up to speed. And then after about a month to be confident enough. But realistically, it could be 2 or 3 months before they're confident in themselves. It depends, obviously depends on the person.
They start taking on a list of work. Like.
Yeah, that you could send them to a site.
Yeah.
And they could be dealing with the foreman and site managers, whatever else. Like.
So they just run through all the apartments and do it.
Yeah,
because like I remember a different builder that we were chatting to, he was after getting like he'd done a smashing job on a lovely house, and I was in there one day and he was changing a unit. He was telling we were just talking about plumbing, and we were talking about underfloor heating, and we were talking about loads of different things. And he says, "Okay, come here, look at this." And we walked up the stairs, went into the bathroom, beautiful bathroom, done out like in a marbly effect.
Yeah.
And this vanity unit in the corner, and one of his lads had just caught a hammer on the corner of it. Now that vanity unit, I think, I can't remember, it was 2,200 or something. He said, nothing I can do with it.
Yeah.
I said, well, what's the crack with that? It's going into the bin.
Scrapped, yeah. That's
so
crazy,
is that something you could have?
Oh, we could fix that like for a couple $100 or less, like.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and the problem there is he don't know about us.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest problems we have is a lot of people still don't know about us.
Yeah.
Like that, like they'll chip a bath or they'll chip a shower tray or drill a hole in tiles and they'll rip out the tiles.
Yeah.
To replace them, like, rather than giving us a call and we'll go in and have a fix there in a couple of hours. Like.
So if someone, again, let's say again, I always bring this back to property, but let's say I'm staging a house or I'm getting a house ready for repair and I see this big dirty scratch on the sink.
Yeah.
Do I, if I ring you in, what's the protocol? Like, do you just get a...
Well, at the moment, we're out the door, like, so we could be waiting a couple of weeks, like. But usually, give us a call, take a few details. We'll usually ask for a picture. We can tell.
Yeah.
So whether it's an email or a WhatsApp, we'd know from the picture if it can be repaired.
Right.
If it can be repaired, then we'll book you in and schedule an appointment. If it can't be repaired, we'll tell you straight out. Like,
it's a replace.
Yeah, we won't waste your time or try and get.
And is 90% of the stuff repairable?
99% stuff.
99.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You have got that scrap.
The majority of the stuff is repairable. Now, some stuff that may not be repairable would be, say, the floor of a bath if it's cracked. There's a long crack. Once the weight goes in it just kind of keeps splitting, you know.
Yeah.
But 99% of stuff would be repairable.
Yeah. Or going into the big one.
Yeah.
What's a common thing you see in most apartments? You probably don't even see the list come in anymore, do you?
No, I'm off the tools now. For the last maybe 18 months or so, I'm fully off the tools. Like, but I'd still be in and out of sites. Common things would be doors.
Doors scratched.
Doors, yeah. Entrance doors, like ladders hitting off doors, going in and out of apartments.
Yeah.
Or anything, whatever, hotel rooms. Whatever.
And that could be like a $5,000 door or 10
by the time the ironmongery and all is on it and it's hung and everything else, the labour going into it, could be $2,000 or $3,000, like,
Yeah.
So, and we could repair 10 of them in a day, you know.
So again, if you take, say, a project of maybe 100 apartments again for a builder, or maybe even his handover of 20 apartments. What give an average? Like, let's say each one of them apartments have problems. There's scrapes everywhere.
Like if you have 20 apartments, like, 80% of them could have some sort of damage. Now, you might only have a chip and a tile in one,
Yeah.
but the next apartment could have a scratch in the floor, a hole in the worktop or whatever else, like, you know.
So what happens then? You send, how many lads would you send into, like, say 20 apartments, or say 100 apartments?
Depends. It kind of depends on the schedule, like when they're handing over and
Yeah.
whatnot. Like, say if you had 100 apartments that have been handed over in 2 weeks, you might need 3 or 4 lads for the 2 weeks. Like, you know, like you might get through, depending on the scale of damage, you might get through 5-6 apartments a day, like for one man. So.
Yeah, because obviously, again, you said a thing at the very start. Your whole game is patience.
Yeah,
you have to wait for stuff that I remember.
We're kind of well enough established there now that a lot of foremen and site managers and all that we've dealt with over the last few years, they kind of bring us into their schedule. So they'd give you a heads up, like, oh, we're handing over whatever 100 apartments in September. We need 4 of your lads maybe from July, middle of July, or whatever it may be, like. So you can plan for it, like, you know.
Book them off then.
Yeah. That's the best way to.
Yeah.
Longer in advance you can get us.
So what did you do then with the franchise then? Did you just send it back? Good luck.
No,
Goodbye?
actually...
was it a 30 grand lesson you learned, or was it the best 30 grand you ever spent?
Look, in hindsight, it was a good 30 grand, yeah. But I know there was a bit of a dispute. They had franchises in the UK as well. And whatever happened, there was a bit of a dispute. It actually made no difference to me because I was on my own anyway.
Yeah.
So it just all wound up, like the franchise end of it.
Yeah, it's mad. And I talked to a lot of people as well. They always, sometimes when you've shelled out a lot of money, you think, I'm at being done. And you look back in hindsight and it's the best money you've ever spent.
It is now,
you've just created 20 jobs.
Probably could have done it cheaper, but...
Yeah, we should look. Yeah. It's done now and it's up running.
It made me hungrier.
The
more you fart out, like...
Taking me back to the start. So the business is Surface Magic. It goes in and repairs all the stuff. You can put it into hotels. You can go into maintenance.
Yeah, pretty much anything.
I'm thinking my brother's senior contract manager for Virgin Media Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
But like he does all the modular. They'd look after all the modular stuff.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
you do them as well.
Yeah, we would do.
Yeah.
We would have.
But he would have. Like they'd be under serious pressure with handover, so maybe an introduction there. I could try and get
you. Would have been cladding repairs, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Loads of stuff. That, like. And then obviously house as well when they're in fitting Virgin Media. And
we've done drilling. Anyone with a drill in their hand is a good customer.
Well, I bought a house not too long ago and we kept smelling gas in the sitting room. And we were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
But the Virgin Media guys had done it straight bullseye through the gas line right through. There would have been some serious repairs done if that thing came down.
Yeah, that's just gas anyway. Yeah.
So you set the business up. How long is it up running now?
About 7.5 years. It would have been March 18 when I started in the road.
Right, and then for people that may be listening into this and they think scaling up a company is really, really difficult. Obviously, you were the one door knocking like myself. You were banging down the doors. You're trying to get money in. You're looking at your 30 grand going, I have to sort of get this back in the bank.
Yeah.
So when you were setting it up, like where did the vision come from and where did you think you were going to take the business? You were obviously looking into long term of it.
Yeah, well, when I started the business, I had no money at the time, so I had to get a loan from Microfinance Ireland.
Yeah.
In order to get the loan, you had to do a business plan. So I set out the business plan then. It was a 3-year business plan. Year 1 was myself in a van.
Yeah.
Year 2 was 2 men, 2 vans. So take on an employee, year 2. And year 3 was get a 3rd man in a van. So after 3 years, I was going to have 3 lads, 3 vans. I had that within 14 months.
Now, we see, this is what, even we do this, when I bring that back to training and property, we do a vision plan.
Yeah.
And I'd give people plenty of time to do it because they're a nightmare to do.
Yeah.
And you have to be real to yourself.
Yeah.
You don't like being real to yourself. And the numbers don't fucking lie. And if you have a vision plan on the board and you say, I'm going to do 7 houses and you do 2, you're being lazy for it.
Yeah.
So
we are delighted to announce that this podcast is sponsored by Platinum Property Training.
Start your property education today. From simply one click of a button, you could be part of the Platinum team. We have made this so affordable for everybody in the country. If you have any interest in property, there's no reason why you shouldn't be part of the Platinum brand. We have got it all systemized. It is right in there with rookies. You can spend 4, 5, 6 or 7 months in there till you get to a certain level, and then you can step up your way through the programs, and you can really start to educate yourself and we're here to help. We've got the best systems in the country. Click the link below and we will see you there. You wrote down on your business plan, it's me in the van for first year to find out all the mess, get it up running.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to employ one more person.
Year 2, yeah.
Year 2. You done that, obviously, no problem.
Hits a certain level of whatever turnover, whatever it may be like, yeah.
So, and then you went to year 3. Now, a vision plan. Now, I've seen some company doing 100-year vision plans, and I'm like, not a chance, too much.
So it's 3.
But you got up to 3 years. Did you ever go back and do 5 to 10 year one, or did you just? Did you ever build on that since?
No, I didn't know. As I say, I had within 14, 15 months there was 3 of us, like,
right.
And then
so microfinance backed you then? You didn't get private finance?
No, they backed us, yeah. Right. But then the work just kept coming. Like I said there, like it was beans on toast for the first 6 months. I was going around knocking on doors, telling people you can repair.
This is the real important part now, right? Yeah. So people out there that have a business and have an idea in their head, you have to get the fuck up off your hole and go knock on the doors and hammer the doors. So
and there's a lot of noise, like
yeah. So you get out and hammer the doors down, done all these freebies, getting into hotels, getting in with builders.
Yeah. So after around, it was actually October 2018 when I got my first big job. I got 2 weeks work on a site repairing windows.
Right.
So it was actually at a shopping centre somewhere. I can't remember where.
What's that, like dints on windows, scrapes?
Dints on windows, little chips on windows, They couldn't, there's something wrong with the size or something, and to replace them was just going to cost too much. So they got us in to repair them and respray them.
I'd say you're the man that sneak in through the back door after the hour.
Do all the damage, No. I should pay someone to do that.
We're laughing now, but at the time, like when you're running around trying to get a business up off the road and getting a van going, getting a dream going, getting your vision going, coming back from the UK, it's all the same when we talk to entrepreneurs. They've all done it. They've all fucking.
And it has to be done. Like it's a grind. Like
and you have to. If you're sitting there with a business in your lap tonight, like Surface Magic, and it's a dream, and you've done all the things, don't put it up on the shelf. Get out and get it to go.
Get out and do it. But it's hard. Like you have to.
So
put the work in. Like
you got the money off microfinance to get up going. You got some money in the bank. You went out. You start proving it. When you get up to 3 staff, which is it can be a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough because my first employee was a brother of mine.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So after it was in January 19, I was probably 10 months. We actually got into a block of apartments. I think it was 150 apartments being built.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I wanted a man in there. Like, but I'd been knocking this door a good few times, like. And eventually I got the call then that they wanted a man. So he went in there, and then within a couple of months, it was just getting busier, so they wanted a second man in there.
So did you train him up?
Oh yeah, I trained him on. Yeah, he would have been in the van with me for a good few weeks, like.
Yeah.
Beforehand, and it just kept going then.
So you never done the 5-year plan. You just went off. You went.
Yeah, just went. Yeah, the work was coming. I'll be honest. Like from day one, I had no intentions of having 13 lads on the books around. Like the plan was myself and probably 3 other lads and live a comfortable life. Like
yeah.
But when when the work keeps rolling, like the demand is there, you just keep going. Like,
what makes you make the decision of going to the next? Like, who do you listen to that? Because it takes a bit of. I know a lot of people might say, "Oh no, it's easy. You just get a man in the van, you stick him in, you train." It's a fuck. It's not easy. It's painful. There's sleepless nights. But what part of your body tells you, right? We need more staff. We need to keep going. Is the phone out ringing?
Well, it's just so much work coming in, like just to meet the demand, and like the potential was there, like to grow. So just have to. Like, it's a calculated risk, but it's calculated in your favor. So you just go for it, like
So you scaled it up then. When did you jump from like 3 to 5?
We got in on a site in UCD. It was student accommodation being built. And they wanted 3 men from the off.
Yeah.
So I took on. I got lucky. 2 of the lads are still with me.
Create luck.
Yeah. Well, that's it, yeah. But 2 guys had moved from the UK back to Ireland and had done this type of work over there.
Okay.
So they rang me looking for work. Just as this job was starting. So I took the 2 of them on, and then a 3rd guy had applied for a job. I was looking for someone anyway. I was only intending on taking on 1 guy.
Yeah.
So I had offered this guy the job. Declan was his name. And then these 2 guys, experienced lads, contacted me looking for work. I just took the risk and took 3 of them on together. So I went from 3 to 6
Yeah, but
overnight.
so
Like,
now you've got 6 mouths to feed.
yeah.
6 fans to put these in.
Yeah.
6
Yeah,
insurances.
but you're going out, go without. Like, I could have went without wages for a good few weeks. Like,
Yeah.
so everyone else gets paid, and
Yeah, always.
that's what has to be done. Like, yeah, but paying off.
Yeah. So then when you went from, obviously the jump from, let's call it 6 to 10 or 6 to 13
Yeah.
or 6 to 15,
Yeah,
is that just the same on board and the same?
yeah, same process. We got to just after COVID. We got busy after COVID. We got up to about 10 staff. A couple of lads left. I kind of took my foot off I would have been still on the tools, like, right in the way, like, so I took my foot off the growth stage, if you like. I was just in on the tools working away, like.
Yeah.
But it's only so we were always at around, for probably 4 or 5 years, we were at around 7, 8 lads.
Yeah.
And it's only kind of last year we decided to
Scale it up.
grow up properly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you think when that scaling up is happening, you know your body's going to do it and you know you feel it's going to happen,
Yeah.
you feel you have to come out of the tools?
Definitely.
Is it-
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
some entrepreneurs like myself, like today,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be near sites,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm addicted to it.
Yeah. Well, it's only this year, especially maybe since Christmas. Like, work for me was manual labor. Like,
Yeah.
you're in on the tools, you're working away, getting your hands dirty.
Yeah.
And I've only kind of this year I've accepted that sitting in front of the laptop for the day is work, like.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that has to be done when you're the business. Like,
Yeah.
I'm only kind of thinking as a business owner now the last year or 12 months or so, like, you know.
Right. So you're trying to, when you come off the tools, because I feel this exact
Like,
same
if
thing in my own
you'd
body.
be going around to sites, calling into sites, checking on the lads or whatever, like, it's necessary work,
Yeah.
but it feels like you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
feels like you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
But it's only lately now I've realised that.
Whereas
it
you're
isn't
thinking in your
necessary.
head, if I go out and knock 2 of them apartments out, I've helped.
Yeah. And you're bringing in,
No,
like,
exactly.
I'm not bringing in money.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not on the tools. It's only lads that are out on the tools that are actually generating the money. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not bringing in any money. So
Yeah.
it just doesn't
Doesn't feel
sit right. Like, yeah.
But again, most business, like when people go to scale their business up, they have to be taken out. Like, there's people that will be literally taken out in a
I
box.
have to know, yeah.
But like, you're going to scale it up, because I know you're going to go for the kill eventually.
Yeah.
And it's probably not this year or next year, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's somewhere in your head. You're saying,
Yeah.
if I don't get this up to a certain level, it's not sellable.
Well, it's just because the phase we're now of growth, there's actually Jared, a brother of mine, he's off the tools now as well. So
Right, okay.
there's 2 of us off the tools, yeah. So he's the phone, like, he's looking after inquiries, all that kind of end of it. Like,
How many phone calls come in a day from the start to now? To deal with 100 calls a day?
No, I'd say 40, 50 calls.
Yeah, and they all have to be dealt with. And they
Oh,
all
that's
have
it,
to be managed
yeah. But that's it. Like, if I have the phone, that's your full focus is on the
on the phone.
answering calls. Like, even making calls or taking calls.
Yeah.
You get nothing else done. Yeah.
So again, you said to me as well, and I know for a lot of business owners when they're starting, they run into this problem, and it is a problem. And the only way I feel to get around this problem in any business is that somebody has to lead, somebody has to drive it, and somebody has to get out and do it, and someone has to be sales trained.
Oh yeah.
So when you said at the very, very start, LinkedIn was your pool, you were repairing stuff, you were showing it up on LinkedIn, you were getting it out there. Did you find LinkedIn worked to get your business up going?
Yeah, that was for us, yeah. Because it's what we do, it's very visual, like, you put your before and after pictures.
Yeah.
And it looks great, like, yeah. LinkedIn, connections on LinkedIn,
that's where it got you up going.
That's where I got my business
so
from,
that was your marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's mad. I know when I spoke to you, you said, "Well, I can't advertise of too much work."
Yeah,
I'm like, "What the fuck? You don't have to do any advertising."
Yeah, but I would have when I started. Actually, you would have been connected with thousands of people on LinkedIn. I got banned off LinkedIn a couple of times, like, just because you're just connect.
Yeah.
But once you have enough connections and you're putting up enough before and after pictures, it just lands in the right person eventually, and you get to work over. Like, but it's social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, all that. It's a necessary tool for business, like.
But you don't really, like, you was never create an ad for.
No, we would have done in
put $2,000 behind it.
We would have done in the early days, but we would have been taking on a bit of everything. So there would have been like your private houses, or
Yeah.
just an odd chip here or there in a bath or whatever it may be. And we'd be doing work on sites, we'd be doing work in hotels. But the last, again, since we're trying to scale, the last 12 months or so, probably 90% of our work will be main contractors, big sites.
Now, I remember, so main contractors is putting the bread on the table and keeping everything going. And obviously they've got to hand over stuff top quality and use, that's exactly what you do. But like when you talk about scale, and I know by talking to you, and I know the way you operate as well, you haven't even topped around Ireland with this thing. You've just focused really on Dublin and you haven't said you haven't set the stall out to go. Like, I mean, Galway is, I was down there trying to buy a house the other day, jammed. I have 2 houses in Cork, jammed. All the cranes are up. Like when now I'm talking to you and I hear you.
We're getting the calls. We are, right. We're getting the calls, but we don't have the resources to cover all the work at the minute. Like.
So it's completely scalable, the whole business, that the onion just doesn't come back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So like you could put another team of say 15 down to Cork if you wanted to.
Yeah, you probably could, yeah. Gradually, like, you could start a couple of lads and build on that, like, but I'd definitely work there, yeah. Like, even, we're getting calls like down as far as Killarney, Tralee, Galway, Sligo.
Yeah.
Like, everywhere. Like, now we try and accommodate everybody we can, especially, like, if it's one of the main contractors and they're a regular client, you'll try and accommodate them, but you can't always accommodate them, you know.
Yeah. So what tips would you have for someone trying to get their business out there then? Would you recommend solely on LinkedIn to try and plug the whole thing? Or do you think each business is...
Yeah, each business will be different. Like, it depends. For us, like, business to business, so it's LinkedIn. If you're after private houses or just the public, it would be Facebook or something like
faster.
That. But it's hard.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of owning a business is actually better than owning a business.
It's
easier.
That's what I was going into. Because a lot of people fucking miss that.
Like,
a lot of people, the dream, everybody wants to. They just see it.
The dream is not always a dream.
Exactly. It's not all. It's I don't know who sold us on that fucking thing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go into that now in a second. But so again, if Surface Magic wanted to, how many? If you look into Ireland. Who's your competitor? Like, no, obviously you're not going to name them. Right? But how many? I've never seen anyone.
There's one other company I know of in Ireland. I'm not sure how big they are. We were similar sizes maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But I don't know if they've grown as much as we have in the last year or so. Like, but I think we're probably the biggest in Ireland at the minute, just doing solely repairs. Like, solely repairs,
and your main into hotels, into building sites. You haven't even tapped off, because when I look at this and I listen to you, and I never really, I knew what you'd done, obviously, because you've come through the training and we've had a relationship, but I've never actually looked in. But when I look in at it, everybody listening to this tonight has a problem. Yeah. And everybody has a dent in the scratch. We do a
bit for assisted living, care homes, like, that's all, like, and it's only, as I said, like, probably 90-95% is sites.
Yeah.
We've barely touched the rest of it, like hospitality, like the care homes, nursing homes, all that. Like,
what would you recommend? So let's say Mark was going to put up a wing, and again, pay attention to this, because this is what I've seen with loads of different companies do the exact same thing. What would you need to get into Galway tonight? What would you do if an investor came into you in the morning and said, Mark, I'm going to buy this company off you. If you're in Cork, Dublin, Galway, and maybe 1 or 2 more, how would and here's a 2-year plan, but we want to see you here. We're going to write you this check.
Yeah. What's
the first thing you would do in the morning? Who would you employ? How would you get to Galway in the morning? How would you get inside the door? What would you do?
Start ringing, make a few calls. Like, we'd have contacts all over the country.
Yeah.
Make a few calls, make sure there's work there, which I'm sure there is. Like,
there's definitely work.
Yeah. And then try and line somebody up and play people for.
So cold calling.
Up, like, yeah. Not even call. Well, it would be cold calling, but you'd know them. Like we've a decent relationship with a lot of.
So you just put a man or woman on the phone and just keep making calls. And that's how you built it at the start.
Yeah,
so it's not going to change now. I think most companies that I get to chat to as well, they're like, pick the fucking phone up and start making.
I think you always said about relationships, isn't it?
Folks, Your network is your net worth. I've proved that several times already. So it's a good quote from Dan Penny: show me your friends and I'll show you your future. It's a fact. Sometimes in life you have to let go of the good things and focus on the things that are going to make you money and make you successful. If you're looking to connect with high net worth individuals, join our community today with a chat system in there to help you grow and scale your business and your property portfolio. I hope to see you on the other side. Relationships are like, powerful. Like.
Yeah. That's a lot of, like, we've built up great relationships over the last few years.
Yeah.
And like my management team from a site, they go from project to project and they'll just bring you with them.
Yeah.
So like, it's great. Like, it's the only way.
I spent a good bit of time, as you know, over with Branson, and his whole thing is about creating a culture in your business and making sure everyone has any fun. And my point when I was playing the game of chess with him, and he was asking me what I do, and I was telling him, and I was saying, look, it's very difficult to have fun in the business when you've got the diesel bills and you've got the things, and even if you do have a good month, you're like, oh, I know what last fucking December done to me. Like, I stressed the living daylights out of me, and you know, I've got this to worry about and that to worry about, and there's another big bill overhanging your head. Have you tried to create any culture in there with the lads, or do you suffer on that one down a little bit?
Yeah, that's something we need to work on big time. Like, how we'd organise like go-kart or something every now and again. But it's hard. Like, we organised a Christmas party at night at the Dogs. I think only 4 lads turned up. There was 10 at the time. Like, we organised the go-karting, and everybody turned up. We finished a half day on a Friday and went. Yeah. I don't know if it's probably bad saying it, like, but you had to pay him for the day. You know, if we didn't pay him for the day, we probably wouldn't have went. Like, So I'd say going forward, it will be more finish a half day and just pay him for the day and go and do something, like get a bit of lunch and have a bit of crack. Like, but
well, that's what I always say about the bigger companies. You can lose bigger budgets. It's not a seems to be a problem. Yeah. But again, with a smaller company, you're watching all the chips. You're trying to build it. You're trying to.
Some of our lads, to be on different sites, like, never even met each other. Like, Like, so we need to make more of an effort. Like,
and I think if you're going to take anything away from my trip over there as well, and I know we'll be talking about it off camera as well, but I mean, that was the whole trick, was to bring people together, and they bring the company, because a company is a collective number of people. That's all it is. And if you're the leader of that company, it's up to you to try and pull everyone together and create, if you wanted to go into Cork, Galway and Limerick, where there's massive amounts of more money. So you've had a good run at it. You've liked it.
A few wobbles along the way.
We'll do a Disruptor interview for that one. There's always that in companies, and there's always problems, and there's always major setbacks. Any one particular that frightened the shite out of you and you thought?
Well, the obvious one, I suppose, is COVID. Like, we're all sat at home there for a few months. Like, and I didn't know how we'd come back. But since, like, we just hit the ground running. That's what, like, everyone was just so behind schedule. They just brought us in onto sites. And
how are you, like, I presume to scale that again and to bring it to the next level, it's systems and processes.
We're in the process. We're in the process of building out an app. So some of the things I've done from day one, we're still doing, like the like of recording the work, like getting job sheets signed off, job books and all that kind of. So we're in the process of building out an app there now. Just going to bring it all online onto the app, so the lads will get the job sheets signed off on their phone or tablet, whatever it may be. It goes into the cloud or whatever.
Don't know where to put it. And it's that's two tradesmen talking. It's up there somewhere.
And it's only a matter then for Paula, when she's doing the invoicing, to pull it. Like, as it stands at the minute, like, the lads send me all the job sheets on a Friday. I get them printed out. I write all the details of where they have to go or whatever, give them to Paula. Paula has to scan them back in and send them with the invoices. Like, but this is just going to eliminate all that kind of stuff.
Hiring and firing, is that down to you?
At the minute, Now, as I say, we're trying to scale. I have a couple of lads kind of lined up to step up into management, but it's based off 15 lads on the tools.
Do you know the formula it's going to take them up?
Yeah. It's just the nature of our business. we need a certain amount of lads earning to
Yeah.
compensate for somebody off the tools.
Yeah.
Um,
And listen, I don't know how many people I talk to, and they always say this one thing to me. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
they come down, they meet me on a site where you shouldn't be here. You
Yeah,
should be
yeah.
out of here.
Yeah,
You should be over there. You should be doing here. You should be there. You should. Everyone can tell you where you should be.
yeah.
And the most important place you should fucking be is operating. You're an
Yeah,
operations person. I'm an operations person, and I get shit done.
Yeah.
And it fucking irritates me when people say you should be
there, yeah.
you should be here, you shouldn't
Yeah,
be there,
yeah.
you should be up in the sky looking down at this thing.
Yeah.
And maybe they're right.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I truly believe that when you're there, or you're very close to being there,
Yeah. You
your
have to keep
productivity is much, much higher.
Yeah, you have to keep a close eye on everything.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. But the two lads kind of earmarked for management once we have the 15 lads on the tool. So we have interviews going on tomorrow, and one of them is sitting in on the interviews just to help out and get a feel for it. Like,
Yeah, because he's stepping from obviously your role being on the tools to a manager, and it's
then hopefully if you scale up then to 20, I'll take a bit of a step back.
completely.
Yeah, well, not completely. No, I couldn't step back completely, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you ever feel
We are delighted to announce that this podcast is sponsored by Platinum Ventures. Platinum Ventures, we buy houses fast.
Hi Dublin homeowners, are you struggling to sell your property fast in the open market? Or maybe that deal has collapsed? Okay, if you're facing this type of a problem, we have the perfect solution for you. Welcome to Platinum Ventures. We buy houses fast. Any property, any condition. We close out them deals within 28 days. Cut out the stress of having endless viewings and having to pump money into property only to sell it. We are not estate agents, and therefore you will pay zero agent fees. Visit platinumventures.ie today. Platinum Ventures, we buy houses fast.
Do you ever feel that there's anything else you can wrap onto this without giving all your trade secrets away? But is there any other company? We'll talk about a bit of an exit now shortly. But is there anything else you would like to? You've been having your eye on to say this would actually fit our company really, really well.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind adding one or two more businesses into it. Just wrap it up for the exit or whatever. But it'll be all more finishing. The obvious one would be like a cleaning company or something like that. But
Cleaning company done properly, very, very profitable.
Yeah.
And it's in like you cannot get clean like cleaners for our site. Say at the end, we've used the same girl. Now we've used 3 companies. You cannot get them. There's always a delay. I just think I can ring someone and get people there the following day.
Yeah, done right. Yeah, they're always on sites. They're necessary on sites as well. Like yeah.
But they really they can produce plenty of cash flow at the end.
Yeah.
What other ones would you put in?
I don't know. Like you could go like spraying kitchens or like spraying windows, PVC windows, all that kind of stuff. You could just little add-ons here and there. Like, but just for now, the main focus is Surface Magic. Yeah.
And if you were to take, would Surface Magic ever take like a maintenance company in underneath it?
Yeah, even a facilities management or something like that. Yeah, could do. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's back to the public then, and
you're dealing with the public then.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you have all the systems in place, like this app I was about building out, like scheduling and estimates and the whole lot is everything we've done through this.
Yeah.
So if the right system in place, taking on public work wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Just for me, the way we were, the logistics of trying to organise 10 lads to 3 different sites every day, like,
and then the shit that goes wrong.
Too much in it, like, yeah.
Now we're going to talk about this exit because a lot of people, well, fuck it, I'm going to say it the way it is. I think it's very important. We get involved in a business, we get our wage out or whatever you're trying to get out of it, or if you're going to try and grow property on the other side of it, and we get up to a certain level and then we forget about the exit.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really important that you give the exit time, because at the end of the day, you're not building this thing for the goodness of your heart. You're building it to make money.
Yeah.
You're building it to make a lump of money at some point in your life. And you're an idiot if you don't.
Yeah.
So at some point, whether you believe it or not, some fucker wants to buy your business.
Yeah. It's
you ever thought about that?
I have, lately I have. But But like that, like when I started a business, it was just going to be a living.
Yeah.
But as you grow and like you see there's so much money and potential out there, you start thinking about your exit then, yeah. But yeah, I want to scale to 20 odd, had a bit more value to it, like.
And where, let's say you got up to 20 or 25 people, but you could probably do it in one big push if you wanted to.
I would, yeah. Like we'd be at 20 if we want. We could be at 20 by the end of the year, like.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's say you did, and some bigger company that wanted this company made your proposal. Have you ever educated yourself on what that may look like? I sat with a bloke in Necker. He was actually very, very close to me over there.
Yeah.
And I forgot to even ask him what he'd done. He said to me one night, Paul, what the fuck? You never even asked me what I do. Older, really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's an engineer, and he was like not taken out, but a company came and wanted his company. He built it up to 85 staff.
Yeah.
And he thought, do you know what? This is actually the perfect time. I've never thought about this.
Yeah.
And he had to go off and do a small training course to realise what an exit might look like, what we expected from him.
Yeah.
And it's not this big, well, it is a big lump of cash. It was huge for him, but it was a ginormous lump. Again, there was a different demand. And I remember saying to him, well, like you obviously have a bit more free time. You have much more money in the bank. He said, I have, but the exit that they asked me for is like a 2-year exit, blah, I have to hang
different
around.
Targets or whatever.
I'm seeing my company, his money's paid, it's done.
Yeah.
But he has to facilitate the last push of it. But that family he'd built, that culture he'd built up for the last 20 years is crumbling around him, and he can't, they're only in it now for a profit. And
they're probably going to sell it on.
They're going to sell it on.
Yeah.
But he was, once he made the idea public that he was entering this, he was shocked the amount of companies that came to try and buy his company.
Yeah.
He was like, holy, and so he had to get educated. So
where
do you see, or what do you see, or what does, let's say I'm going to write you a check of 5 million in the morning. What or 2 million, or whatever. I'll downside. What do you see in your own brain then? Because an entrepreneur is building something up, and I know you'd pass companies too, but I mean, you've built this thing up. You wake up every morning, it's on your mind. You wake up on a Sunday night, it's on your mind. You go out for a few beers, it's probably still on your mind.
You're always on it.
What are you going to do if I give you 2 million and say, thanks, Mark, now I'm taking it? What does life look like for you then?
I'd probably have to do something. I don't know if I go building out another company from scratch.
Right.
I might buy something small and try and grow it. Into the property as well, like get a few more houses. If
you would like a few houses in
I would, yeah. But I have to scale it to 20. Get a bit of value. Yeah, get a bit of value. At a minimum, I think.
Yeah.
I have a number in my head.
Yeah.
But I have to get to a minimum.
And 20. Where, like, in that space, where would you? Because I've never seen in Ireland any training courses saying that have any fucking merit behind them to say, there you are, Paul, that's how you build a company. Because I think we wing a lot of shit. We're winging shit every day of the week.
Yeah.
Now, even when I'm buying a house sometime, like, who will I turn to? Ain't no fucker there. And you have to make a quick decision. And sometimes when you sit back and you win, you're like, right, I want to put my hands up here. That was fucking dodgy. I winged that one.
There's times already, But even if it wasn't to exit, I still, in the next 2 or 3 years, I won't be in it. Like, if you can grow it and a few lads step up, then a couple of lads to either put somebody in to do what I'm doing. Like, one of them might step up and do what I'm doing. Like, but I won't be up to the elbow in it every day. Like,
funny you say that as well, because in another chat I had with Richard about this as well, I said to him, it's mad how you build companies, or how you did build companies. Because he was obsessed with the idea. He was obsessed with it all. He'd go in, cause massive damage, set it all up. And the minute he felt to get out of there, he was gone. So his role each time was to find someone to replace him. And once he found that, he's out.
Gone.
And I'm like, how can you just do that? And he's like, listen, when you've got dyslexia. Dyslexia, if I'm even saying it right, but when you've got that, there's one thing that he has mastered in his lifetime, and it's delegation. And I see a lot of business owners that I get to talk to as well. master delegation very, very well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be great at that.
No, and I couldn't because I'm a
Yeah.
control freak. But for me to step out of it
You'd have to have someone.
and then start to work on a different business
Yeah.
and watch this thing, but that seems to be the trick.
Yeah.
And that's
You have to be hands off. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a trick. That to me, like when I started learning again to try and apply the way we buy houses into buy businesses, and I started to educate about businesses and how you actually buy them. And I mean, so for someone stepping in to buy your business, they technically would probably buy that thing, sit back for 6 months, and gradually change something.
Yeah.
Like where I would have thought you would have went in and on Monday morning you'd round everyone
so
up and
changes.
say, "This is what the fuck is happening."
Yeah.
Now I'm in control.
Yeah.
But that's how you destroy a business.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a mad thing. But again, going back to you, if that check landed in your pocket, other than you buying another little one and trying to do it, what's the future look like?
Yeah. I'd probably have to look after one or two of the lads as well.
Yeah.
Just to make sure to be secure or whatever. What life would look like for me, I'd probably do nothing for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But then, I'd probably try and get into the property game or
try and push heavier in there.
Yeah. At the moment, the way Surface Magic is, they can be kind of a few side hustles or whatever. Like,
well, you've a lot of mouths to feed as well.
But they're all distraction. So even the product, like, as you know, I have the one rental there at the minute. I would like a few more, but it's a bit of a distraction at the minute. So if that was gone, I'd push harder at the property game. Yeah.
And where, again, because there could be people listening into this as well. Two last final questions. Where are you taking some of your knowledge out of when it comes to building companies? Like, are you listening into any podcast? Do you like listening to one particular person, or?
Yeah, well, I would have done all the podcasts, all the books, going through it. Like, when I started with microfinance, this will just tell you, as part of the loan, I had to have a mentor.
Yeah.
My mentor was a school teacher.
Right.
What do you know about business? Like,
Yeah.
So that was a waste of time. Yeah. But
you knew how to write a business plan.
Yeah. But a lot of books, podcasts. What would I listen to? Listen to a bit of Dan Pena about business and whatever else. Like,
you like his rootless ways?
Yeah, I wouldn't be that rootless now, but yeah. I'd be a bit of an bullshit person myself. Like,
yeah.
But,
he doesn't stand for any of it.
Yeah, he's right.
You should go over. I think there's an event coming up in the UK shortly. You should go over.
One of his, is it?
Yeah.
Have you done the?
Yeah, I went over. Yeah, I didn't do the full seminar.
27 grand or something, is there?
You have 30. I think it's gone up to 30. It could be 27 sterling.
Yeah.
So again, if you look at that option, is it for you or not? And sometimes you have to look at the 27,000 and say, okay, I'm going to fuck around on YouTube for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Or am I going to go for this thing? And when you put money in the game, look what happens. You put money in the game with me when you came to
focus, like,
The minute you throw money on the table, you won't leave any crumbs lying around. You'll learn how to pick up all the pieces straight away. When I put money into my property education, I came back and thought, this is the fucking one I've been waiting on. And I didn't have to be, I knew what I had to do, and I went out and done it, and we made the money. What was the last? I had one last question.
When I joined this initially, planning property, I suppose probably 18 months ago or so.
Yeah,
it was actually within 2 months I had my first house. I bought the house like after joining. Yeah.
So when you joined me, fucking hell, that was quick.
So it was fairly good. Yeah.
So but you just focused in then, and
well, that's it. And you spend
and
the
money. you paid.
You spend the money and it focuses the mind. Yeah,
absolutely. And how did you find the back end of our stuff? Did you find did you think that we were a bit too much pushy or too much shouty or screamy?
I know. No, it's what's needed. Like,
yeah. So well, look, you have the keys now. That's the main thing.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Mark, any last final thoughts?
No, whoever's thinking about starting a business, keep going. Like, just do it. Like,
And there's going to be plenty of punches in their face along the way.
Yeah, there's any amount of money out there. Like,
did you ever take private finance in for? So you have 100%. Would you recommend?
I had to get a couple of loans along the way. All right, like, but not private. Like,
you just hold it tight to yourself.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And to take it from 0 to 17 or heading for 20.
Yeah.
Congrats. It's not fucking easy.
When you stand out and have a look back in, like, from nothing to where it is, it's...
Yeah, well, I seen a load of your new vans on the back of a truck there a while ago, and I was thinking, fucking hell. He's taking that thing.
I have to try and pay for them now, yeah.
Yeah, that you'll always find the money. You'll always find the money. Well, listen, it's been a great chat. And this is why I love to do these things, because there's a lot of people with a lot of great ideas, and they're sitting there and they'll do, they'll fuck around and they'll think about it. And I think it's the confusion. And it definitely was for me, because no one let you inside their business. And it's a typical Irish thing. No, I don't tell anyone what I do. And, I'm not going to share any secrets. And, if you can get inside something and see it and actually say, right, well, it is going to be challenging. There are going to be long hours. Fuck it, it's going to be worth it at the end. And
a few years down the road, but it is worth it in the end, yeah.
That's the last one I was going to finish it up. And when have you set a target in your head for
20?
For you to try and step?
End of next year.
You're going to go to, okay, right.
That's what I'm thinking,
You've been thinking this for a while.
End of next year, yeah. So
there's an opportunity there. Where would someone, if someone was looking in and thought that, now I know clearly you're leaving serious amounts of money on the residential table. Serious amount of money. I know the sites as well, because all you have to do is now that you have contractors for some of the biggest contractors in the company, that's your sales pitch. Well, I work for him, and him, and this is what we do.
We have a good name, like. Only today actually we got a call. An architect down in Waterford. It's going on a while. But we're actually due there tomorrow. Wednesday. One of the lads has an appointment, so he can't go. So I called her today to say, look, she needs it done this week. We said it'd be next week before you get there. But she says she'll wait for us. We recommended one or two other French polishing. It's a table, like, so French polishing. And she says, no, she heard we're the best. So she'll wait, So.
That's the one thing in business you have is your reputation. And never let anyone fuck with you.
And that's it. Like, you could do 100 good repairs, do one bad one. That's what's remembered. Like, so you have to be driving standards as well. Like.
So if someone was looking in at this and maybe had 5 or 6 other businesses that are doing well and wanted to wrap one of these, like wrap that in, are you open for a phone call? Are you open for a chat?
Yeah, go onto the website there, you get all the details. Yeah.
And then if someone has, that's for an investor saying want to buy into the business, but if someone also is looking in at this and has got a load of repairs, maybe are a builder, maybe just, as you said at the start tonight, just simply haven't heard of you. What's the best way to contact you, or do they contact you? Yeah,
it's through the website. You'll get our phone number on the website there. Call out there if you want to, right?
Yeah. Share it out,
086 407 2814 is probably the best way. Or send a WhatsApp of pictures.
Lovely,
and we do usually know from pictures if we can or can't do the repairs,
Well, look, it's been a great interview, and what I want to do now is I want to wrap up on a bit of your work. So take a look at this. Okay, folks and team, thanks a million for listening into this business podcast and for Surface Magic, letting us get under the hood of what they actually do on an operational day. Again, if you're looking in on YouTube, we're going to show you a couple of the videos now in a minute. Again, Mark, thanks a million for coming over to Platinum Studios.
Thanks for having me,
Yep, no problem at all. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to help with the algorithm with your like, share and comment. And until next time, we'll chat to you all soon.